Hello, welcome to this new video. My name is Martina Vincenzi and I am the founder of the VIP Flight Attendant Academy Private Jet Coach. I'm going to answer to another very interesting question I've been asked today on today's video, and this question is a very specific question about catering. So the catering on board a private jet. On board a private jet we have different appliances, and normally they are an oven and a microwave. Normally we receive the catering in bulk. That means that is basically put in very small containers to save storage space, because it's obviously very limited, like on any other type of aircraft, regardless of the size. Galley is never enough. So we receive the catering in this small container, and we normally have to, reheat. So unless you are literally preparing some food items by yourself on board, otherwise the rest of the catering, and what is normally happening, I would say 98% of the time, the catering, the food has been pre-cooked, pre-prepared in advance, and then delivered to you, and then you heat it up, plate it, and serve it, okay? So the food has been cooked before, and then you receive it already cooked on board the jet. Now, for safety, you have to use a specific type of containers for specific type of appliance. Like, for example, you cannot use aluminum in a microwave because it will eventually absorb all the waves, and eventually it could also develop in a fire. And you cannot use paper containers in an oven because, for the same reason, it can eventually develop into a fire. So the question is, how can you recognize which containers are suitable for what, for which appliance? Well, the answer is that it's not really on your power as a VIP flight attendant, but it's on the catering power to do so. So the best thing is that is labeled somehow, that is or marked somehow, that container is oven/microwave safe, or either both, or only one, oven or microwave. But yeah, unless the container is marked somehow, is labeled with this information, there is no way that you can know that. What you can do about that, when we actually order catering to a caterer, it's really, really important that you are as specific as possible. You mention absolutely everything the way you want it to be done, the way you want it to be packed. I don't know, how many minutes do you want the pasta to be cooked? How many minutes do you want the steak to be cooked? You have to be as specific as possible when it comes, and this rule applies also to the type of containers that they are using to provide you the food. So when I write my catering order, I am very specific. I want this item in this type of container. So for example, I wanted to serve pasta pomodoro. Very easy, super easy, children friendly, etc., etc. Okay, so I wanted the pasta and the sauce separately, because I'm gonna heat the pasta in the oven, so the pasta must be in an aluminum container, cooked up to 2 minutes before the final cooking time, okay? So if the cooking time is 9 minutes, I want you to cook the pasta 7 minutes, so it will still be hopefully al dente when it comes to me, and for me to heat it up. Then I want you to leave the pasta just as it is, okay, white, with a little bit of olive oil, so it doesn't stick with each other. And I want you to put it in an aluminum foil, because then I can warm it up in the oven. On the other hand, the sauce must be in a plastic container, microwave friendly, because there is plastic and plastic. Not all the plastic goes in the microwave. Some of them, they melt. So I want the sauce in a microwave friendly container, plastic, because I'm gonna heat that up in the microwave. And then I also want to have Parmesan on the side. The Parmesan stays in the fridge, obviously. So I heat them up into different appliances. Then I take a big plate, I put them together, I mix them nicely, okay, for the pasta to get all the sauce to be, you know, very, very well garnished. And then I put that on my plate with my parmesan and eventually some parsley, basil, whatever I have as a garnish herb. And then I serve it to my customer, but I tell them how to do it, okay? I tell them specifically how I want it to be done. If you have been very specific, yet you are still not sure what type of material is the container, so you don't know if this is safe enough, you have two ways. Either you ask to the caterer, is this safe for microwave? Is this safe for oven? In the moment that they are delivering it to you, or even during the flight, using the Wi-Fi, sending them an email, a message, can you please confirm that the container you just have delivered to me is safe for microwave or oven? If they do not reply to you, if they don't know, if you are still unsure about it, because you are on a jet and you need to be very respectful because humans are not meant to fly, and it's better not to deal with a fire during a flight, you just transfer them into a different container that you have on board that you are sure that is suitable for microwave or for oven. So normally we do carry on board the private jet some extra containers for this type of situation. So you can just simply transfer whatever food item from the unsafe, let's say, container that you are not really sure about to one that you are actually very sure about. It could be a hard plastic plate, it could be a glass container. Both of them are suitable for microwave. Aluminium foil is the only thing that really comes up into my mind that can go inside an oven. Or even those plastic containers divided into sectors, so you can heat up, let's say, the fish and the mashed potatoes and the steamed carrots all together at the same time in the microwave. So it really, you know, it really comes with the experience and it really comes with your capability to be as specific as possible. I mean, be very fussy, be very picky. Tell them exactly what you want, be demanding, because this way you are giving them guidelines and you're making their life easier, and therefore your life easier as well on a later stage when you are gonna receive the catering on board. So always prepare a plan B, such as having extra containers in the galley that you can use eventually to transfer the food and continue with the cooking. Really, really worst case scenario, use the plate, okay? You're gonna transfer the food into a plate and put the plate inside the microwave. The plate in the oven, I do that when the oven is off, hot but off. So it's more like to keep the food warm, okay? Because with very high temperatures of the oven, eventually the ceramic can crack, and that's a shame because it's most of the time is not a very cheap crockery set, the one that you have on board the private jet. So you need to be careful, obviously. So yeah, I mean, for the ovens, probably aluminum container is just the best. Oh, another trick, you do not have alu containers, make one. You take the aluminum foil that I'm sure you have on board your private jet, the roll, I'm talking about the aluminum roll, and you just create a sort of a sort of a container with high walls where you can put the food inside and then place it in the oven. Obviously, you cannot really transfer it like this because it's gonna be too fragile and it will eventually break up open and all the food will eventually go on the floor. So maybe you can take one of the shelves of the oven, put it on the galley top, build up your aluminum foil emergency plate on top of the shelf, and then put the shelf in the oven all in once. So this way the transfer, so you have a solid base, and the transferring of the food from the galley top to the oven is and back is gonna be safer. Well, I hope that this could be helpful for you for some galley tricks on board the private jet. As always, if you have any other questions regarding VIP flight attendants, private jets, and the corporate aviation industry, feel free to contact me. I think that's all for now. So ciao ciao and baci baci.